Welcome to the Alcohol Minimalist Podcast. I'm your host, Molly Watts. If you want to change your drinking habits and create a peaceful relationship with alcohol, you're in the right place. This podcast explores the strategies I use to overcome a lifetime of family alcohol abuse, more than 30 years of anxiety and worry about my own drinking, and what felt like an unbreakable daily drinking habit. Becoming an alcohol minimalist means removing excess alcohol from your life so it doesn't remove you from life. It means being able to take alcohol or leave it without feeling deprived. It means to live peacefully, being able to enjoy a glass of wine without feeling guilty and without needing to finish the bottle. With science on our side, we'll shatter your past patterns and eliminate your excuses. Changing your relationship with alcohol is possible. I'm here to help you do it. Let's start now. Well, hello and welcome, or welcome back to the Alcohol Minimalist Podcast. With me, your host, Molly Watts, coming to you from, it's a very warm, pleasant, sunny, summery Oregon right now. Been really just, very, very hot earlier in the week, but now we're just riding into the mid 80s and it's looking like it's going to be a perfect weekend. So I'm excited about that. Hey, I am excited to have you here. I hope if you are joining me right now during July, maybe you took me up and you're participating in a more dry July. More dry July simply means that you're being more intentional. You're adding more alcohol-free days than you would typically have. And that's awesome. Whether that's 1, 20, 25 like I'm doing, or a full 31, doesn't matter. The idea is just to, in honor of that, I wanted to share a conversation that I had with Aisha Chottani, the founder of Moment. Moment is an adaptogen drink company, and Aisha started this company about 3 years ago, which you'll hear her talk about, and it's just grown and really a product that I'm very intrigued by. Don't know a lot, haven't done a lot of testing with adaptogen type drinks, but she's getting a ton of feedback from people who are using her product, Moment, to supplement and drink them in lieu of an alcoholic beverage, which is not where she started, not what she planned for her company. I think you're really going to enjoy hearing it from her. She's got, science-backed information from these adaptogens from growing up, and I just enjoyed hearing her story. She's also giving us prizes for our More Dry July event. So that's pretty cool. If you are participating, you might win a case of Moment. So here is my conversation with Aisha Chottani. Hey, Aisha, thank you so much for being here and being on the Alcohol Minimalist Podcast. I just can't wait to learn more about Moment.
Hi, Molly. It is so nice to be here and chatting with you. Really excited to discuss more and share our story.
Yeah. So this is, I really was enamored with the product, not only from just a marketing perspective, because let's call a spade a spade. It looks great. And the vibe is really awesome. But I love some of the stuff you're doing in terms of giving back to mental health organizations and really, so I'm excited to hear more about it. So let's start at the very beginning. Aisha, tell me where this idea came from and kind of what led you down this path.
Yeah. So let me give you a little bit of an overview. I actually grew up in a bunch of different parts of the world. My parents and my grandparents, they originally come from South Asia. Mm-hmm. And a big belief on health, or a big belief in life, is thinking about health very holistically, which is mind, body, soul. You gotta balance it at all times to be in balance yourself, mm-hmm. and essentially be your best self. And so that is the thinking that I grew up with. And as part of it, there is a whole bunch of different techniques and tools in the toolbox that you applied all your life to ensure this balance and holistic health But one of the things that I grew up with is also using a lot of natural ingredients and products and herbs to live life. When I was young, my parents would both have their different types of herbs that they would take, and there'd be a lot of debate on the efficacy of these herbs and super plants almost. And sometimes these debates would get pretty heated. And they would have their own mixed potions of like ginger and turmeric and ashwagandha. And then my mom would say, no, but I believe that, it's actually tulsi that has this effect. And all of these were very anecdotal wisdom that carried on from generations. But there was very strong belief, and that's how they lived their lives, and they lived really good lives. And so fast forward to when I moved here, and I was in a pretty intense consulting job. I was living the American life. I was living the New York life. I was working pretty long hours, deadlines, Zoom meetings, pretty hectic schedule. And so I started feeling the impact of it, or the brunt of it, both physically and mentally. And there was it reached a point where I had to take a pause and reflect on what was happening and shift a lot of things around. And as part of that, I got deeper and deeper into the science of mental health, the importance of it, and some of the ways you can address it and do that on an ongoing basis. So in that journey, I reconnected a little bit with my roots and went back to some of the very natural ingredients that I had grown up with, such as ashwagandha and tulsi, and started speaking to experts and researching more on it. And came to the realization that in certain dosages and with certain combinations, they can have a huge impact on your health. And so I started consuming more and more of it myself, and I started seeing a turnaround in how I was feeling physically, mentally, and when I talk about this balance of holistic health, it is interesting because if you're feeling good, it starts affecting your relationships, it starts affecting your work life, and there is this cycle. You appear positive, you come with good energy, and that flows to people around you, and they send back positive energy. Yeah. And so you're just in this very positive cycle, and everything starts uplifting. The effects basically multiply. And I started seeing that. So when COVID hit, and then the world was going through so much chaos and uncertainty, stress, I felt it was time to take it to the rest of the world. So I left my job, and I decided to start Moment, which really initially started as a movement to support others with their mental health and wellness during COVID. And then the idea started, which is how do we make sure we can support people's health in the best way, right? Sure, I want them to have adaptogens and botanicals, but what is the best way for them to consume it? Because just having it in powder form, which is what my parents grew up with, and which is what I did grow up with, and it can be pretty bitter and earthy, is not always the best idea to get somebody accustomed to it. And so in that process, decided to do it in the form of a beverage that people can enjoy in the evenings or late afternoons when they need to take a break and take some time to themselves. So this can help boost their mood, reduce their stress levels, and they can go back feeling refreshed while not having anything unhealthy. So that's how the journey of Moment started. It has now been almost 3 years. We're going to celebrate a 3-year anniversary soon, which is really exciting for us. And what has been the most impactful thing is the fact that we get emails from our customers, long emails sharing how Moment has changed their life. That's literally the subject line of so many of these emails. Moment has changed my life, or my husband's life, or my wife's life. And so as we were talking about, we didn't, it started more of, it started more as a product that's going to support your holistic health. But over time, because it is in the form of a beverage and it enhances your mood, it reduces your stress levels, you get up the next morning feeling great. It has actually supported people in their journey towards reducing or giving up alcohol, whatever your goal is. People have started replacing that with Moment, because one of the other good things is that it has no added sugar, no preservatives. And so you're not just replacing alcohol with other junk, you're actually replacing it with something that is actively good for you, and has functional benefits.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of what I was hoping you'd get there, just organically. And that's exactly what I first found you, was this idea that Moment, because it's an adaptogen drink, right? So we're trying to impact people's, especially what I hear all the time from people who are working on their relationship with alcohol. Probably the number one thing I hear is that I drink to relax and unwind. That's why they drink alcohol. And they do not understand, and this is something I talk about all the time here, they don't understand the actual science that shows that it's a losing proposition with alcohol. It's only gonna the therapeutic level of alcohol is only in that first beverage, and anything after that is actually just going to upset your neurochemistry and get you out of balance, so that you're actually perpetuating and increasing your stress and anxiety. So especially for daily drinkers, it's just a cycle that is very, very hard to break.
It is. Yes, you're so spot on. And of course, you know more about the science because you're very deep into it. But alcohol is essentially a toxin. Your body treats it as, the reason you have this effect of alcohol that people do enjoy is because your body goes into this mode where it's trying to kick out this toxin out of your body, or it goes into this mode to survive against this toxin. And that's why you feel all of these like effects, which you're like, oh, this is great, I'm feeling good. But it is actually your body's reacting to a toxin. And you talked about like daily drinkers, but which is the effect there everyone knows about. But even people, or even like moderate drinkers, people who have it like a few times a week, studies have now shown that it starts affecting your decision making, your memory, your ability to think logically, because it affects the front of your brain, which is used in a lot of these functions. And consistent use of this, the consistent presence of this toxin in your brain will, over time, and very quickly, will start affecting, will make you take decisions which are just purely based on survival and not logical thinking. And that's again the cycle that we talked about, which is you get into this vicious cycle because you're having some alcohol, you're taking poor decisions, and then you're having more, and it starts affecting all different parts of your life.
Yeah. Yeah. So I hear from you that you're kind of like this. It didn't start with this idea that this was going to be a non-alcoholic beverage, or a non-alcoholic alternative for people. Yeah. But one of the things too is, I mean, we talk about it here all the time because it's what people are trying to accomplish with the alcohol, right? That's the important part. It's what they think they're getting out of the glass, the feeling that they're going to evoke. And that's what I think is so special about Moment, is that you've really, dug into this idea that by drinking this drink, you're actually going to feel the same things that you might feel from, say, something like a moment of meditation. And right. So tell me a little bit about that connection with Moment.
Yeah, 100%. So when we were designing Moment, we were building this proprietary formulation. What we wanted to do is we wanted to create a sense of calm alertness, which is not just like putting you into like a slow space where you can't like think clearly, but it's allowing you to think, but it is also at the same time giving you a sense of relaxation. So how do we do that? It is because the combination that we use, it takes a read of different hormones in your body, including your cortisol, and depending on where it is, it will address it. So if you're feeling too hyper, it will sort of bring you down a little so you can feel calmer. If you're feeling slightly depressed, it will lift you up so that you get like a mood boost. That's the beautiful thing about adaptogens, that they actually adapt to your body.
The word, yeah, right. The word. So
that's right. So they're so powerful because they go in and they take a like measurement. Like the first thing that they're doing is essentially taking a measurement. Where are you at today? And then accordingly boosting it, or making you calmer. And at the same time, what it also does is, your brain has different types of brain waves. Depending on the type of work you're doing, different brain waves are activated. So if you are in like focus mode versus when you're taking like a nice walk, there's different brain waves. And so what moment does is it activates your alpha brain waves, which are the same brain waves that are activated when you meditate. We all know the feeling that comes when you're meditating. You're feeling good. You're feeling like, but it's literally similar to when people tell you, hey, stop, take a few deep breaths. And that's also, again, like conventional wisdom that have been
proven to be beneficial.
That's like immediate. You take a few deep breaths and you feel it, right? You feel the difference it makes in your brain. And so the feeling of moment, once you have it for a few days, it's similar. It slowly starts like bringing that feeling. It starts activating those alpha brain waves that will put you in that state constantly.
I love that. You all know I'm a science girl, and that is why I am so proud of my partnership with Sunnyside. Sunnyside has great data based on their user experience, and they also have great science techniques behind what drives the program in the first place. Users of Sunnyside in their first 30 days experience, on average, a 29% reduction in drinks. They avoid 1,500 calories, and they've saved over $50 each month. This is because there is science behind the program. Sunnyside helps you reach your goals and stick with them long term by focusing on 3 scientifically proven superpowers. One is pre-commitment. You intentionally make a plan ahead of time, and we talk about making a plan all the time here on the podcast. Number 2 is conscious interference, and you'll learn that the habit of tracking each drink helps you decide about it. Number 3 is positivity. We know this is not easy sometimes, right? And we all need a little boost. I try to be a boost, and Sunnyside is a great boost via text message or email to keep you motivated. So if you haven't already checked it out, I invite you, www.sunnyside.co/Molly, to get started on a free 15-day trial today. There's different flavors and there's different types of moment. There's sparkling, there's non-sparkling. So tell me kind of where and the flavors are really interesting too. So how did you come about all of that? Were you just testing mode and trying to decide? And then I know you also created and are in partnership with Lululemon for a flavor. So tell me about all that.
That's actually my favorite part of it. I love formulating. That's been the most fun part of this job. The flavors were really the initial flavors were really inspired by some of the different places that I've lived in. Like I was mentioning, I grew up in Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, South Africa, lived in Denmark before I moved here to the US. And so I took inspiration from all these different places and the ingredients, the herbs, the botanicals used there to bring them together. And so the initial like 3 flavors we had were Tulsi lemon, which is very much it's a very South Asian thing. Even the name Tulsi is actually holy basil in the US, but we wanted to give ode to my background. And so we called it Tulsi lemon. It has been difficult to translate it for a lot of people, but we still called it Tulsi lemon. The other initial flavor we had was Rooibos blood orange. Rooibos is it stands for red bush. It's a botanical that comes from South Africa. I spent a really long time living there. I love the country. And so that was inspired from there. And then the last one was hibiscus dragon fruit. And that is something I've spent a lot of time in Asia, outside of South Asia, like Southeast Asia. And so that was inspired a little bit from there, and South Africa as well. And then as we have grown, we love testing and trying out new ingredients. Testing and experimenting is how I define my life in general, on all things. And so we have also thought about what are some of the other cultures and countries, what are really good for you ingredients and botanicals in other parts of the world that we can use and bring in to also drive awareness, because there are such powerful things. And then also bringing some of the other some other powerful botanicals. So for example, one of our most popular flavors is blueberry ginger. Ginger is something that is across cultures, right? In a lot of Asian cultures, every food has ginger in it, but it's also European, US, it's everywhere. It's such a simple ingredient, but it has so many benefits. So we have that as a flavor. And then we also brought in lemon turmeric, PB chlorophyll. We experimented with a lot of different flavors because we love experimenting. And it's been a lot of fun, and there's been a lot of learning.
I was just going to say, so tell me, I mean, this just amazes me. So you did not have, I'm guessing you didn't have a background in beverage manufacturing before you started Moment, right? So lots of learning.
Oh my God. So much learning, so much learning. Every day I'm learning something. Yeah.
It's a
to
lot
this day. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Oh, it's a lot. So there's a lot to take that in. Like I said, I love the look and the feel of the brand, though, which is really great. And another thing that I think I just want to make sure I think you said it, but I just wanted to really emphasize it, because so much of what I hear from people that are looking for options in the non-alcoholic space is so many are filled with sugar and added, lots of added stuff that they don't want to be drinking. And they just can't find something that gives them a little bit of a feeling, some sort of that feeling that they're used to getting from alcohol, or that they believe they want in a healthier, natural way. And I think that's what I really love about this idea with Moment.
Yeah, that's right. So over time, what we have done is, when we realized that it was such a popular use case, people were seeing so much benefit, they were replacing their alcohol with Moment and doing it every single day. We did lean in a little bit into what are some of the mocktail-based flavors. Let's think about those. So we created flavors like lychee mint, for example, that is really inspired by a cocktail you would have in Miami.
I said like a mojito, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's like a popular flavor there. We were speaking to the mayor of Miami, and he said that he loves that combination. We're like, you know what? We are going to do a mocktail for that. So over time, we have also tried to lean in and support our community that is actively looking for things that places where actively looking to replace alcohol or reduce their alcohol intake by giving them a little bit of the same feeling through mocktail based flavors. That, and then there's like cherry hibiscus. So there's a couple of like new flavors that are more mocktail based, but without the preservatives, without the sugar. So you can have all the benefits of the adaptogens. You asked about the partnership with Lululemon. That's really, really exciting for us. And we actually spent a year working on a flavor together before we launched it.
Wow.
The idea again over there was to really create something that is very personal to both brands, us and Lululemon, which meant we were, if you wanted to bring in like diversity, they believe in diversity and inclusion. That's one of their values. And so we brought in a lot of different botanicals from a lot of different places, like jasmine and honeysuckle and yuzu. Really, it's a very global flavor. And it's a beautiful flavor. And it also gives you the feeling of having like a limoncello, but without the alcohol and with the adaptogens. And yeah, people have loved it. And it's at the Lululemon Experiential Studios. We called it Lemon Lemon as an ode to Lululemon.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. If you do say so yourself, right? Yeah.
It's actually one of my favorite flavors. I have it like every single day. Yeah.
Nice. I love it. Okay, so tell me more about where people can find Moment. Is it exclusively online? You just told me it was in some of the Lululemon experiential places, but is it the rest? Is it all online?
Most of it is online. Right now, we have a big presence online. We are in the Lululemon Experiential Studios. We are in natural stores and bodegas and coffee shops in New York, and we're just trying to expand into other places. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. In another 6 to 12 months, we'll be in a lot more spaces around the country, but at this point the best bet is to find us online.
And we'll link everything in the show notes, folks, so there's no worries there. I'm super excited about the fact that Aisha was kind enough to contribute a couple of cases of Moment to our More Dry July challenge that's happening right now. So it's great. So everybody that is participating is into the randomizer drawing for some prizes, including potentially some Moment to give it a try. So if they aren't the big prize winners, though, we're going to send them to give the URL. Aisha, where are they going?
They're going to drinkmoment.com.
Okay, perfect.
And they can select their favorite flavor, or they can do a variety pack, different types of variety packs, whether they like stilled, sparkling. Everyone has their own preferences. But whatever they like, they can choose a variety pack, and they can use the code Molly Moment for a 10% discount.
Oh, nice. Molly Moment. Get that, everyone. Nice. I love it. Perfect.
Molly Moment. Yeah, that's right.
Well, this is just wonderful. I'm super excited to see people stepping into the non-alcoholic space with options that like adaptogens that are really so good for us. Just like you said, there's so much science, so much long history in the Asian cultures of supporting this kind of, the holistic approach, and these adaptogens being so much a part of that. It's good to do good work, right, Aisha? And you get to see that it sounds like on a regular basis with the people that are your customers.
Yeah, we sometimes our customers will write us like 2-3 page long emails, and it is that makes my day, because to have such an impact in somebody's life is really special. One of the reasons I started this business is also to have some sort of impact on the world, in a significant way. And so that really makes a big difference. We also share 1% of all our sales with nonprofits focused on mental health. So that's again something that really makes us excited about what we're doing.
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. I wanted to make sure to get that in there too. So 1% of all of your proceeds go to benefit mental health organizations.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Really nice. Really nice. All right. Well, Aisha Chottani, I appreciate you so much taking time on Friday late afternoon, New York time. And it's time to get your weekend started, time to enjoy a moment, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've actually been doing it for the last hour while we've been
Right.
chatting.
Perfect. Nice.
And I put in a wine glass because why
Right.
not?
That's right. And that's the whole beauty of it. You can pour it right in and people don't even need to, to know what you're drinking, but it's it has that look and feel of a nice adult thing. And I love the fact that you're actually doing something healthy.
Thank you, Molly. It's been so wonderful chatting with you. I appreciate you having me here.
Yeah.
And looking forward to driving this mission together of supporting people with less alcohol, but more adaptogens.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to the Alcohol Minimalist Podcast. This podcast is dedicated to helping you change your drinking habits and to create a peaceful relationship with alcohol. Use something you learned in today's episode and apply it to your life this week. Transformation is possible. You have the power to change your relationship with alcohol now. For more information, please visit me at www.mollywatts.com.